Folks, for those of you who have tuned in, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat with your name and your favorite quarantine dish that you've made so far.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
Currently, my partner is live streaming from the other room and chatting, so.
Yeah. Oh, how fun.
Got some shepherd's pie. Ooh.
Bernie, hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Deb and Bernie.
Nice.
Miss you guys.
Ooh. Peanut butter cookies. I need to do a better shop.
Yeah. They're going in 30 seconds. No, we're good.
You're ready.
All right. Let's touch.
Tommy, while people start logging on, are there any ingredients we should gather around our kitchen for those of us cooking?
I've got all my stuff right here in front of me.
Would you like to tell us what that is since we can't see it?
Oh, yeah. Here, let's show you.
Great.
Are we going now?
Yeah, we are going.
Oh.
So, do you want me to? I'm gonna hop in really quick and say, hey everybody, I'm Danny from Kitchens for Good. Thank you for joining us today on your Zoom. Just to kind of give you a general idea, is we're going to spotlight the speaker. So if you can just make sure you have your Zoom in speaker view. So log into the right corner, click on speaker view, and then whoever's talking will actually be the video that you see. Type in any questions along the side, and we'll do our best to answer them along the way. So I'm gonna open it up to Tommy and Aviva, and then we'll go from there.
Taking a chance, opening up. Hi, Aviva, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Tommy?
Good. So, ingredients-wise, Gary, Logan, love you guys. So the white sauce, for years we've used this white sauce. My mom taught me how to make it. We do this same white sauce. The recipe's never been given out. So we gave it out today, and you can find that photo on the link. Hold on, let me take a reach here. So my math is really bad. This is what I call new math. 50% sour cream, 50% ranch dressing, a little bit of water, throw it in a blender, blend it up, and then add your hot sauce to it as it's blending.
Tommy, this is what you were calling a secret recipe.
Add as much as you want for spiciness. And then for the salsa, we're using the local salsa. This guy's in OB. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. This stuff here, absolutely great. You can find it at the farmer's market. Taco seasoning. And then, of course, for the tuna, this is a great can of tuna. Catalina Offshore has this, despite the guy on the label. This is the one that we're using tonight. Quick and easy. You can also use a can of chicken instead if you didn't want to make a fish taco. That's what I got going on.
All right. Tommy, you want to introduce yourself and what we're doing here?
Yeah, so I'm Tommy the Fishmonger. We are down here at Kitchens for Good, Virtual Dinners for Good, and some amazing things are happening here. It's always happening here, amazing things, but now specifically because of the pandemic that's going on, and there's people in need that need food and need to get meals out to them. And I was talking to Chef Keeper about it, and I told him, I go, you don't do this for anyone, you do it for everyone. And it's really cool to see what's going on, that even in the last 2 days, I got a cheat sheet here because I can't remember anything. The last 2 days, just 2 days, they did 2,230 meals and pick up here at Kitchens for Good, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 9 to 12, 9 a.m. to 12 noon, while supply lasts. They've got some amazing things going on, and follow along, check out their Facebook pages and all of that. Collins and Coop is joining me tonight as well, and they've got some great stuff coming up. Gary and Logan Mitchell, known them forever. Logan's got Cellar Door, which is unbelievable, sells out in a matter of minutes. Gary, he has Collins and Coop. I'm reading off of this cheat sheet, 15% off purchase if you donate. We'll get you the discount code tomorrow for Collins and Coop. Delivery, all that stuff. He's taking care of that as well, so check him out. And that's it. I'm ready to go. Who's up first? Who's on second?
Tommy, I'm going to say a little hello and welcome first. Hi, everyone. My name's Aviva, and I'm the co-founder of Kitchens for Good. And we're really, really so happy to have all of you guys join. This idea came together really quickly last week as our team really pivoted from what we normally do of culinary job training and hunger relief, and really pushing all of our efforts to feeding the community that's really in need right now. So we have been scaling our hunger relief efforts. Our chefs are working tirelessly to ramp up to about 7,000 meals a week that are going to feed the community through a partnership with the food bank, as well as through a grab and go meal distribution at Kitchens for Good. As Tommy mentioned, just in the last 2 days of distribution, we served over 2,300 meals, and we're working to really scale that up to meet the demand and meet the need of so many people who have been affected by this crisis. And we've been doing these Dinner for Good series for almost a year now, Tommy, and we had some planned for this spring where we bring in some awesome chefs and they do some cooking and dinner, and we thought, hey, now more than ever is a time that we need to come together in our kitchens around the dinner table and support one another and support our work to feed the community. So super excited to see 74 of you joining us tonight. So Tommy and Cellar Door and Collins and Coop are really helping us out to help raise awareness for what we're doing. So I'll turn it back to them to start the cooking class.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's us.
Hi, everyone. I know a lot of you came from following Gary and I on social media. We really appreciate you. We really miss having you in our home, as we usually do, but this is, I guess, the second best thing is we can invite you in digitally. So Gary was going to start off with a really easy cocktail ratio recipe.
Yeah, I'm Gary, if anyone out there doesn't know me. Also, this is Logan.
Hi, I'm Logan. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so I figured everyone's stuck at home. We are delivering. I'll do a little shameless plug at the beginning here. We're delivering at Collins and Coop. You can just go to collinsandcoop.com and place an order there. Select delivery before you go to checkout, and we'll have it to you within a day, sometimes same day if we're on our game and don't have too many orders that day.
Anywhere in the county.
Anywhere in San Diego County, yeah. Because we want you guys to stay at home, and we want to bring you some of the supplies you need so you can make good cocktails there. That said, let me show you how to make a drink. So basically, I wanted to talk about ratios because making a good cocktail is really about just balancing three different things. One being a sweet component, two being a sour component, and three being your spirit. So it's going to be a real simple formula here. One, two, three. It's that easy. So we're going to do 1 part sour, 2 parts sweet, 3 parts spirit. And this actually comes from like one of the oldest cocktails before they were even calling them cocktails, people were drinking punches. And down in the Caribbean, they would make a rum punch. And the rhyme went 1 part sour, 2 parts sweet, 3 parts strong, and 3 parts weak. Or sorry, 3 parts strong and 4 parts weak. Which the weak being water, which we're going to use ice for that. That's a very important component here as well. So I'm gonna use lemon for a sour component, but it could also be limes. Grapefruit can work in a pinch. It's a little bit more bitter than sour. But lemons and limes are kind of really the key here. And we are delivering lemons and limes. So I want to make the most of this fruit though, because there's not a lot of lemons and limes going around. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take a Y peeler. This is a Y peeler here. And I'm going to peel off some pieces of peel here. And these are going to be used, I'm going to use these to garnish with. They got all this great citrus oil. They smell wonderful. And I'm going to, rather than just take a couple off, because I'm only going to make a couple of drinks, I'm going to peel the entire thing. So we can save, and I've already pre-peeled this one through the magic of internet television. I took all the peels off and I set them aside in a little dish here. And those peels I can use for garnishing the cocktail a little bit later. Or I can put them in a jar, cover them with sugar, set it on the counter overnight. And that's going to create something called an oleosaccharum. And here's one that I started a while back. And you can see it's sort of started to separate out, the sugar will macerate the oils out of the peel and create this beautiful rich syrup, which brings us to our sweet elements. Actually, let me juice this lemon here first. Now, I'm just going to use a hand press like this. If you've got one of those like a reamer, that works too. But I really think a hand press is going to get you the most out of a lemon. I will juice mine into like a measuring cup or something, so I'm not worrying about like things being tipped around and whatnot. And then strain it. I've got a strainer, funnel here that has a strainer in it, and that's just going to make sure we don't get any seeds into our drink. I've already juiced some, but I'm just to demonstrate here, putting it right through there. And now I've got this whole bottle of lemon juice. And this will keep in the fridge for several days to a week. It will start to lose some of its tartness and get a little sweeter over time. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
You'll know it's bad if you open it and it pops.
Yeah,
it's fermented.
If I open this and it makes a little fizzing noise, like, don't drink that. It's not good. So I'm just going to put a speed pour in here. It's going to make it a little easier to measure. Now, typically, you'll see bartenders using a shaker, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But I figured most people, if you don't have a shaker around, you've probably got a jar. So this is just a regular mason jar. And we're just going to make this first cocktail in a mason jar because it's really easy to do. And in a pinch, if you only got a mason jar at home, it's totally going to work for you.
It's also a cup. Take the lid off, it's your glass.
Yeah.
Done. One dish.
So I'm going to make 2 cocktails here, or 1 if you're really thirsty. And I mean, let's face it, who's not thirsty right now? So I'm going to do 1 ounce of lemon juice. This is a jigger that I'm using. It's a measuring device. You can use that was 1 ounce. You can also use tablespoons. 2 tablespoons would be 1 ounce. So whatever measuring device you have, even if all you have is like a shot glass, 1 shot glass, 2 shot glasses, 3 shot glasses, like pretty simple. That's gonna make a big drink, but maybe you're gonna be really
beauty of a ratio.
thirsty. But anyway, it's ratios rather than ounces. So now the sweet part, we could use a syrup in here, but our friends at Saint Germain just brought a bottle by for us. So I'm gonna use Saint Germain. It's a elderflower liqueur. It's delicious, has a wonderful sweet note to it. So 2 ounces of that. Other sweeteners you could use, liqueurs would be
Cointreau.
Cointreau. If we used lime and Cointreau rather than lemon and Saint Germain and use tequila, that's a margarita. If we used rum instead of tequila and simple syrup instead of liqueur, that's daiquiri. I'm going to use some gin today. So, direction. So I'm going to add 6 ounces of gin. Sorry, 3 ounces of gin.
6 is fine with me.
3 ounces of gin. So use this. And then some ice. It's going to be the most important part. Ice is the way we like cure or cook our cocktails. It's got a nice mold like this. Pick these up. Just a standard ice mold. I'm going to throw a few of these in here. This is going to help with our dilution. I'm going to leave this ice out because I'm going to put it in the drink as well. So I'm just going to close it up nice and tight and give it a shake. While I'm shaking this, grab my glasses and
Yeah.
And I'm shaking it a little extra hard because the ice is big. If I had cracked each piece individually, it would melt a little quicker and the dilution would happen a little faster, so we wouldn't want to shake it quite as much. This looks great. I'm going to put some of this ice in our glasses here. And then I've got a strainer right here. This is considered a Hawthorne strainer. It's got one of those springs on it. If you don't have a strainer, you can use a mesh strainer from like a mini strainer like this from your kitchen, something like that.
Or just kind of offset the lid a little and turn it, or just drink it right out of this.
Yeah, you could also just drink from this if you wanted to. We're going to top it with some soda though. So I'm going to pour into here.
This is sort of the equivalent of like getting dressed in the morning these days. You may as well give yourself a pretty glass and, you know, have a little fun with it. You don't have to drink in your pajamas, or you can.
Carrie, what is the ratio of the sugar to peel in that recipe?
Sugar and peel.
You just want
What's the ratio?
For an oleum saccharum, I just put enough sugar in to cover the peels. So that's not really a specific ratio. If you have a ton of citrus peel, that's good for oranges, lemons, really whatever citrus peel you want to do. Limes don't have a ton of oil in them, so you're not going to get a ton of yield from it, but you can still do it. And you can put a bunch of citrus peels together and have a sort of meritage, if you will, of citrus flavor. But yeah, just top it with sugar, and you'll just leave it overnight. You'll see the syrup will just sort of extract out from it. It's amazing. So I'm just going to put a little soda water in here. If I had a bottle of sparkling wine, that would be a really wonderful thing to top this with. In fact, that would be if I hadn't put it over ice, that's very reminiscent of a French 75, which is another classic gin cocktail. So I'm just going to stir it up a little bit with this spoon/straw. It's a spoon-straw combo here. And then I'm going to
make it look pretty.
Garnish it with our lemon peel from before. Now I'm going to take the outside of the lemon peel and roll it in my fingers to sort of express the oil. And there'll be a little bit of citrus oil now that will come out of it. A little twirl. And that's going to sit on the top of this and it'll smell really nice. Once we're drinking it, bring it up to your mouth and you'll smell that beautiful citrus oil. Then I happen to have a couple of flowers that are this is their last run, the last hurrah here. I had to dump the rest of them. They were looking real sad. But if you have some edible flowers in your garden, like nasturtiums or
even any like herb flowers, like basil flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. You can absolutely garnish with those. This would be a beautiful garnish if garnished with like some rosemary, even some fresh thyme would be a wonderful garnish in here. And there we go. So,
cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Thank you.
Well, now I'm going to get started on mine. I actually have
really quick. I just want to direct people that we will also be raising some money tonight to support our efforts to feed as many folks as we can in San Diego. Danny just put a link right there. So far, thanks to all of your generous support, we've raised almost $4,000. And I'm really excited to share that we have a very generous board member who has pledged $1,000 to match any donations made tonight. So if you want to, go ahead and click that link and donate, and it'll be matched up to $1,000. So thank you all so much for your support.
That's amazing. It's really great. Yeah, so this is I'm going to do a rip out of carbonara. Carbonara is a really classic Italian pasta. It's essentially, you can call it breakfast pasta if you want. It's got bacon and eggs in it. But as long as you keep the egg component with a little bit of cheese, you can kind of do whatever you want with anything you have in your pantry. So I've already started. I rendered down some bacon, and I left the fat in the pan because I wanted to also cook down some mushrooms, which I knew they would take a while, so I did them both separately before we started. You can see there's like a lot of room in here. When you cook mushrooms down, you want to make sure they have a lot of space, or else they just get steamy and kind of mushy. So I've been crisping these up for like 15 minutes. Essentially, the bacon fat in a carbonara serves to just have a really nice emulsification of the sauce. So you could, if you want to do a vegetarian, you could just do olive oil and just cook them real slow. And then you end up with some nice liquid to mix in with the pasta. And then I have my water boiling already. So I'm going to drop this pasta because it's going to take a couple minutes. I just have some spaghetti, just some Trader Joe's organic spaghetti. You can use any pasta you want. You can use skinny pasta. You can use like orecchiette or penne, pretty much anything. I go for about a quarter pound per person per serving. So that would be half of this container for the two of us. One thing about carbonara, it does not make great leftovers. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that once you reheat it, it just cooks, it just kind of scrambles the eggs. So keep that in mind. You can't really batch this unless you want to eat it cold later, which would be good too, I guess. So I have my pot here with really salted water in it. I'm just gonna kind of like stir my pasta down and then let it hang out for a bit. In the meantime, this dish is basically an emulsification of barely cooked eggs and cheese, and then whatever fat you have to mix in with it. So I have already mixed together some egg yolks and a whole egg. Pretty much you want to do like 2 or 3 egg yolks to 1 whole egg. It just helps because the egg whites are just mostly water, and you'll end up with kind of a watery sauce. So I'll just show you how to add another, I need a cup here. I separate out the egg whites because these are great for lots of reasons. We're going to show you how to make a cocktail with egg whites. That's, I think, the most noble use for a leftover egg white, but you can also make some frittata later or something. They freeze really well too. So I've got this egg yolk. I'm going to put that right in there. And then I've added a bunch of cheese. I have Parmesan cheese in here, just the pre-grated kind. Not the shaker cheese. You don't want that, but like the kind you can get in the deli section. I got mine at Trader Joe's. And then just kind of whisk it all together. And you want to add a ton of black pepper. The reason carbonara is called carbonara is because of the black pepper. It's like reminiscent of carbon, burnt things, and that's sort of like how it got its name. And so ideally you'd have a pepper grinder. If you don't, please get one. You can even get the ones from the store that are already full of peppercorns, and they're plastic, and you can hopefully refill them. And the deal with carbonara, because it has so much black pepper, you kind of just want to grind until you're tired and then do it a couple more times. And then you really can't put too much. This is not a dish for someone who doesn't like pepper. And then you whisk it all together, and it's this really thick situation, which when you cook it down, you're going to add a little bit of pasta water to that in order to make it thinned out. And it's totally sacrilegious, but I like to add garlic to my carbonara. So when we're ready to get the pasta into the pan, I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic right away so it doesn't cook too long. And then I'm going to do some herbs and some asparagus on top of mine, because actually a lot of people use peas in their carbonara, but I just happen to have this asparagus. So I'm going to chop that up and throw that in at the end. So Gary, you want to get on with those egg whites and make an egg white cocktail? Yeah, we're there.
All right. Okay. So we already have cocktails, but what's another round, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna take those egg white cocktails, or sorry, egg whites for the cocktail, because who wants to waste an egg white? And then to do a sour, so an egg white's one of the key ingredients in a sour. A sour is a cocktail that has lemon, sugar, egg white, and spirit. I'm gonna make a whiskey sour today. Grab my tools here. I've got a little maker's mark. Shout out to Trevor if you're listening. And we've got our egg whites. I've got this sugarcane syrup. We sell this at our store. It's really wonderful. It's from Martinique. And beautiful, rich syrup. And then, of course, the lemon juice that we juiced earlier. I'm going to grab a fine mesh strainer and my regular strainer. I have a second strainer here, actually, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the strainer that we used.
Hey, Gary, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
You want to do one at Dinners for Good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You kind of hesitated there, bro.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, raise more money, man.
So I'm going to take this spring off of my Hawthorne strainer. This is why I have two strainers, because this one's going to get real messy. I'm going to put it into my shaker tin. Now, I'm going to use, this is my preferred way to mix cocktails, rather than use a jar. I'm going to use a Boston shaker. It's 2 tins. This one's a 28-ounce weighted tin. There's a little weight at the bottom here that helps balance it out. This is an 18-ounce weighted tin. They go together just like this. You give it a good tap, and then they'll stay together. Give a smack on the side, they'll open right back up. Super easy. They're really dependable. There's a reason why this is the setup that you see at every bar in America, really. Okay, so let's pour some ingredients. Grab my jigger again. Now, this isn't going to be the same ratio because sour should be more sour. So we're going to lower the sweetness on this. So we're going to do equal parts of sour and sweet. So I'm going to do 1 ounce of lemon here. And then 1 ounce of the sugarcane syrup. And again, you could use a different kind of sweetener for this if you wanted to. The whole point is to really play around, be creative. You don't have to follow every cocktail recipe to a T. It's just about getting the right ratio between the ingredients. So gonna pour 3. So it's gonna be 1, 1, 3 rather than 1, 2, 3. That's gonna make it a lot more tart. Now, also, when you're making any kind of cocktail, if you don't like the way it turned out, put it back in the shaker. Add something else to like balance it back out the way you like it. If it's too sweet, add a little more citrus to it. If it's too sour, add a little more sweetness to it. If it's not strong enough, add a little more booze.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, so all the ingredients, egg whites. We're gonna throw our egg whites in here as well. Should have dry shake this. Oh, I'm gonna dry shake it actually. So I'm gonna do a dry shake here. I got my spring in there. The spring is gonna help whip those egg whites up. Now I'm gonna do what's called a dry shake. I'm gonna put it, I got all the ingredients in here, close it up, and I'm gonna shake it really hard.
So without ice? That's
no ice, yeah, without any ice, because what I wanna do is whip up those egg whites without watering it down. Give it a good hard whip, and then, there we go. Now I'm gonna add my ice to it, because we still do wanna add some water to it, but we wanna make sure we whip up the egg first.
I think everybody really liked you shaking it up because we're up to $4,200. So can you do a little more shake and groove there?
Wait a second here. Now I've also got, I have some just regular like store-bought ice. We are delivering ice as well if anybody needs some ice. This is like your regular bagged ice. I just have that outside here in a cooler. Just a scoop full of ice. Close that back up. Ready? Here we go.
Come on, everyone, donate. Donate until he stops shaking.
Hear that bell in the background.
Stop donating.
Yeah, keep going.
Ding, 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 ding.
Actually, we don't want to shake it too much because then we'll water down the cocktail. So again, I'm going to pop it open. You'll see when you close up a shaker tin like this, it's going to sit off to one side. You see it's like angled like that. In order to open it, you want to tap it on one of the sides next to that, not across from it, and that will. Ooh,
Oh.
freezing up on me. That will. There we go. We just want to be able to flex this enough to open to break the seal up. Okay, strainer on the cocktail or on the shaker tin. I'm gonna use the coupe glass here. You can see that. It's a nice little vintage coupe glass I've got. And then I'm gonna pour this through a fine mesh strainer. That's gonna make sure that any of those little bits of like egg white don't make it into our drink.
Hey, Gary, we got almost 100 people watching us, which is pretty cool for our first one.
Not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Not
So
bad.
while he pours that, my pasta's almost done. You want to cook it to about a minute or two shy, because really with any good pasta, you want to cook it into the sauce, and then so the last few bits of moisture that it absorbs is going to be flavorful and not just water. Although your water should taste like the ocean, because that's going to give you like the base flavor of your pasta. So excuse me. I'm going to take my pasta right out of the water here and right into this pan. Excuse me.
Any special pasta you got cooking there? Wheat pasta, or what's the deal with that?
It's just a spaghetti, organic spaghetti from Trader Joe's. Nothing too wild about that.
There we go.
One of the reasons that you want to bring your pasta straight in from the water is because it has water on it, which helps to make the sauce. And then you have this pasta water left over, and it's full of starches and salt that is going to also create a more of a balanced emulsification on your sauce there. So I'm going to take my measuring cup that I had everybody grab and just dip it right into the water that you have and pull some out and just hang on to that for a bit. You want to pour, I said like a half cup, just kind of like dump a little bit in there, and then cook your pasta on this burner with the bacon and or mushrooms that you have, just enough to kind of evaporate some of that water. And then in the meantime, you want to take your egg mixture, and you can start in the big bowl. I just wanted to use a cute one to start with, and you stick it into this big bowl, because what we're going to do is we're going to take that pasta right out of the pan and stick it into this bowl and toss it around so it doesn't cook the eggs and make you scrambled egg pasta, which would still taste good, but it's not quite the same thing we're going for. Take a little bit of your pasta water, just like a quarter cup, and put it into your egg mixture. And what that does is, if you've ever made like custard, it tempers the eggs and gets them used to being like in a hot place, so they don't cook as fast.
Hey, Logan.
The sauce, so it's kind of liquidy. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's a lot more liquidy than it was before. And then we got our pasta back here going. Looks like most of our liquid is gone.
Okay, what?
And you dump it right into there. And then you just toss. You toss it because it's going to cook the eggs. And if this feels a little bit loose, what you can do is take this bowl and stick it right over your pasta water. Turn that pasta water back on, and then cook it over the steam until it thickens up a little bit. Gary, did you want to show garnish on this guy?
Yeah. One last thing here on the sour. Sours traditionally, and I will say should, have a little bit of bitters over the top of it. And aromatic bitters preferably. That's because the raw egg white in here doesn't smell great. It tastes amazing, gives you a beautiful silky mouthfeel, but it smells like a raw egg. So we're gonna take some bitters and we're gonna dash them over the top.
I'm bringing my asparagus now too, by the way.
And that way, when we bring the drink up to our mouth, we'll smell those bitters rather than smell the egg white. Also, it adds a really nice element of flavor to it. Bitters are a wonderful cocktail ingredient. We could have put bitters in our first cocktail if we wanted to, just to sort of add another note of flavor. It's like herbs and spices for your drinks. Yeah. Now, if you're not into the egg white thing, you can also use a foamer. We are out of stock right now, but we usually carry one called Bee Foam. That's like a glycerin-based product that will make a foam. You can also use something called aquafaba, which is a fancy way of saying bean juice. It's specifically chickpea or garbanzo bean juice. You strain that off, and you can use some of that in here to make like a vegan foamer. It won't quite give you the same kind of foam. I don't know if you can see this. I'll bring it over to the camera. It won't give you quite the same amount of foam as an egg white would, but it will give you some foam to it. So, cheers.
Hey, Gary, you guys want an update?
Yeah, I do.
Please.
Yeah, so Logan, I think you need to be on camera more because it really jumped up when you got up there. Sorry, bro. What can I tell you? So we're at $375 from our $1,000 donation match.
Awesome.
It's up for a total right now. You ready?
Yes.
I hear a drum roll. 5,200 and change. 5,200 and change. So, and when I get on, there's no deducting if you're already donated. You can't take it away just because I get on there. So we're gonna keep rolling.
Helps. Even if it's just $5. I know a lot of us are really struggling right now. You know, us as well, but we're really happy to contribute in this way, and even a couple bucks helps. So we have our cocktails. Yeah, absolutely.
They did 1,180 meals just today. So
That's
the money that was in the night,
meals today. That's it. But so as you can kind of tell, this pasta, the sauce has thickened up quite a bit. And it's really nice and silky. I added the asparagus. I also forgot to say that in the egg mixture, I had not only Parmesan cheese, but I had some goat cheese that I made. There's a friend of the food community who has goats, and she gave me some fresh goat milk. I made goat cheese with it, so that's also in here. I'm really excited about that. And I also have some herbs. The thyme is from a friend's garden, which is super lovely. And there's some parsley as well. So I'm just gonna put this down on some plates so we can see it. And then we'll eat in the background when Tommy's doing his dish. How about that?
I'll be over after we're done.
What's that?
I'll be over right after we're done.
Perfect. Come on over. And then we got all these little bits in the bottom, so you just kind of switch them over the top here. That's gonna look amazing and taste amazing. We'll put it up for the camera in just a sec. And then I also had toasted up some pine nuts, so there's little pine nut bits on top here. And we'll give this herbal treatment.
Logan, I'm attempting to cook along, and I've got to say I've played almost every single role at Kitchens for Good except chef. So I'm doing my best over here. But
I know we're a little disjointed, us both doing things at the same time, but it comes together okay, and it always tastes great. So we add a little cheese to the top here.
I might come over to try some of yours and compare.
Good, you absolutely should. And then here we have our product here. So I hope everyone was able to follow along. I hope my recipe was relatively clear when I wrote it down. And now we are excited to see what Tommy has. And you guys need to give the money while Tommy's talking because he knows what he's talking about.
But hold on.
Yeah.
What's going on with Cellar Door after this whole pandemic? Back in the game?
We're going to start making dinner again.
We're going to start doing dinners again. We can't wait to see you guys back. It's been a while. If you're interested in having a private event at our house, we do meals for up to 10 people at a time. And you can do a private event, or we do also events where people don't know each other, and those are really fun as well. So send us an email, cellardoorsd.com @gmail.com, or come in, get a delivery from Collins and Coop, and we can talk about it in person.
There you go.
You were doing the 10-person maximum before it was mandated.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be the first restaurant to open safely.
Gary, what's going on? Just the lowdown on the delivery service and everything going on at Collins and Coop.
Yeah, so we've moved our inventory online. Most of it, we're putting in vintage stuff on there a little bit at a time. And actually, it usually gets bought like the next day. So if you see something vintage on there that you like snatch it up. But
all the rest of our supplies, cocktail tools, syrups,
Yeah,
mixers, ice.
all the tools that I used here for these cocktails, including glassware, all of the non-spirit ingredients, including the citrus. We've got all that available for you. So if you've got a liquor cabinet full of stuff you don't know what to do with, like, and you don't have any of the mixers or the tools, like, pop over to collinsandcoop.com, put an order in. We'll
Send
get
us
it
an
to you.
email. We can help you, guide you through the process as well.
Yeah, reach out on Instagram or Facebook, and be happy to make some recommendations for you. We're working on putting together a section just on bar basics. It just shows you kind of some of the basic tools that you need to get started.
We're also trying to put together delivery up to LA, anywhere in between here and LA, maybe once or twice a month. So if you're in between here and LA area, place an order and send us an email, and we'll get it to you in the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. I've already got 2 orders ready for LA. Early next week, I think we're going to try to shoot up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, cool. We'll put you on the hook again.
Awesome.
We're going to do this again and again, right?
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. We had such a good time the last dinner we did with you guys.
Yeah, it was great.
We can't wait to do it again.
Careful what you wish for.
You need in-person dinners when you've got Zoom, right?
Yeah, perfect. You don't need to taste anything. It's not the point.
Yeah, you guys can taste through the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, I'm going to taste this cocktail. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to everyone out there.
Perfect.
Ah, that's it. That was great. Great. So we're at, where are we at? Where are we at on the money wise? 55K right now, 55K.
Well, maybe not quite.
Doesn't matter how much you got, doesn't matter how much you spare. Bring it on in. Let's get this thing cranked up. So just again, recap, 1,180 meals today came out of here for the citizens of San Diego. So for those of you that don't know me, congratulations. For those of you that do and have stuck around, well, maybe your luck will change. I don't know.
Tommy, can you tell us a bit about how you got involved with Kitchens for Good?
Kitchens for Good is, I got involved because it's very close to my heart. For those people out there that don't know my background, drug addict, alcoholic, homeless, convicted felon, you know, all that stuff mixed in, and got connected with Kitchens for Good. And this is the thing that in order to keep what I have inside personally and my struggles and battles, I had to give it away. And it helps me in my sobriety and the life that I want to live. But it also helps those that I teach at the classes and stuff. And I'm missing Rebecca right now. I just got to say that because she's not here. She's usually either nodding her head or shaking her head. But anyways, when you come to a graduation at Kitchens for Good, the class graduates, I'm going to warn you that you will need to bring tissue, because I don't care how big, bad, and tough you are and how much, you know, once you hear the stories on stage from these young adults and how they got here, you're going to get involved with Kitchens for Good. There's no doubt about it. And then the graduation ceremony and then the lunch and everything, but I can't stress it enough. You know, come down, donate your time, donate some money, come to a graduation and see what it's all about, and talk to Aviva and talk to the staff members here and see what they're really doing, because you don't really see it. You hear about it, bits and pieces here and there, but you don't really see it. And when you come in, God, I'm gonna start tearing up here. I can't do this. So when you come in, you're gonna see good things happening to good people. And the students and everything are absolutely beautiful people. They just got dealt a bad hand. And to watch the transformation from the day they walk in to the day they graduate is absolutely amazing. One thing that I do want to mention, and a huge, huge shout out to all the restaurants in San Diego that are hiring the graduates here at Kitchens for Good. You guys rock. We're going to get through this. Everything's going to be okay. You know, it's going to, I mean, the kitchen staff, you guys have been through worse. You know, you're in the kitchen, you know, in the jungle doing it. So yeah, that's what I got to say about Kitchens for Good. We've been here for 19, what do you got, 19 graduates?
We're class 20 right now.
We're on class 20. I think I missed one graduation, gone through 2 or 3 boxes of tissue. I don't know. And they got catering, and you can do parties here, and, you know, businesses want to come and rent out the space and have the kitchen, cook all your food and all that stuff. There's some great stuff. Check it all out on the website. I don't want to sound too much like an infomercial, but
Tommy.
if I keep talking about it, then I'm gonna start crying. That's not gonna be good. Yeah, that's what I got.
All right, what are you making?
Mary Beth says
Oh, Mary Beth, say hello. Hi. And Carrie Fisher, hello to you as well. Cool. And thank you for joining us. So I'm gonna do a fish taco. So it's, look, we're in lockdown. You can't really get out and go run around. We're certainly not going to the club and playing tennis and stuff like that. I'm gonna make a fish taco, simple and easy. I'm going to use, shameless plug, the tuna in the can is better than the label outside, trust me.
Is that
Cat-
you on the can?
That's me on the
Oh,
can.
all right.
So Catalina's Choice, this is local, big eye and yellowfin tuna, caught by American boats, offloaded here in San Diego, and it's packed in olive oil. One thing I want to point out as well, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it, but let's see, where's the oil? There it is. So this is a solid pack of tuna. So you don't want to open it up with and then get a plastic fork in there to pull it out, because you're going to break the fork. It's a solid pack the way that tuna is supposed to be. So I've got my canned tuna. I took green cabbage, purple cabbage, and some carrots, and I just shredded them up. I've got salsa made from a local company. Let's see, is that good? Yeah.
Hey,
Local
Tommy, where do
company.
you get your tuna from?
So we get our tuna, this tuna comes off American boats, offloaded here in San Diego, and it goes to Catalina Offshore Products, where Dave and the crew down there have developed this tuna. Yeah, it's got my face on the label. It's, yeah, that's where it is. It's
Is Catalina shipping now, or?
Catalina ships. You can go to www.catalinaop.com, or you can call them, ask for Bob, Austin. Dave Rudy's the owner. Rebecca Gardone's down there. Some cool stuff. There's great people down there. You can call down there and, you know, order some fish, American fish. Kind of cool, right? Where are we at? You don't know.
Oh.
See, that's something I would ask Rebecca. Uh-oh, wait, we're rolling the dice. We're going to check the funds. Hold on. Ding, 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 ding.
Still at 55, 5.5.
5.5, 5,500 and change. Keep it coming. God, I got on and it stopped. What happened? So I'm going to turn on the stove. Now look, the fish taco is something that was, the Pongueros down in Baja are the ones that started the fish taco. When the weather would kick up and they couldn't make it all the way back to the fish camp, they would have to beach their pongas, and all along Baja, they had these little hovels built into the sand, and they would go in there and wait out the weather and stuff like that. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this can of tuna, and if you don't wanna make a fish taco, you can get canned chicken as well, or canned beef, anything like that. Remember, this is something that you would do, or that you would have in your pantry during this time. So I'm just gonna dump it in. I'll show you. I don't know if I can do that. That's one piece of tuna in the can. So there's olive oil in that. So we don't need to add any olive oil or any type of oil to the pan to heat it up. And I'm just gonna take a spoon and I'm gonna smash it up. And I wanna show you, look at that tuna. I don't know if the color's gonna show. That's a beautiful pink, beautiful tuna. So we're gonna throw this in, we're gonna break it up, and literally you have to break this up. It's a solid steak of tuna. We'll break this up a little bit, and we're just gonna heat it. And then comes the spices. I'm gonna warm it up a little bit. The white sauce, get ready, right? Get your pencil out because it's my almost world famous white sauce. It's kind of cool. I use, and it's a whole math thing, which I don't have math ability, so bear with me. Sour cream, 50% sour cream. I use a ranch dressing and then a little bit of water to thin it out. Put it all in a blender, of course. Tapatio hot sauce I use to kick it up a notch. As far as spice goes, I put it in a little squeeze bottle like this. Kind of cool. See where we're at on the tuna. As it heats up, you'll find that it breaks down a little easier. It's nice and warm. If you have any questions, go ahead and fire them off. We can all play along.
Mommy, tell us about where you're getting your fish these days.
I'm getting my fish at the Dockside Market. I'm down there helping those guys out, trying to promote the fish, along with Mitch's Seafood, Point Loma Seafoods, of course, Catalina Offshore Products, Chula Seafoods down in San Diego as well. So there's fish in town, and this stuff doesn't get better with age. So it's got to move. People need to eat. And the prices in and along our docks are amazing. Go down, meet your fishermen. And if you're up in Oceanside, you know, as far as the farmer goes, Cyclops Farms, our buddy up there, Luke, he's got some good stuff going on. So I broke it up into little chunks. We're going to heat it up. Did we stop? Did we stop? No more money coming in?
No, we're good. We've been getting them. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, killing me. Taco seasoning mix. I don't know. That's what it is. So I use this as well. Spice it a little bit. We'll coat it up. It's a pretty simple taco. Here's where it gets confusing because I like thick flour tortillas. Yes, I know, store-bought. I know, give me a break. So we're just gonna throw it on the grill. If you don't have a flat top, I know we all love it when we just throw it over the open flame, melted butter, you know what to do. For the toppings, I'm gonna use this cheese here and that salsa. I love this stuff. Local company, local guy. We try and support everybody that we can on a local scene. So imagine, if you will, that was chicken or shredded beef. Now, what I also like to do is I like to take just a little bit of salsa, a couple spoonfuls, just like that. This is mild in spice, okay? And we'll toss it up. With that spoon, here we go. So I like to do fish tacos like this. I don't like that deep fried battered stuff because, like I said, the fish taco came from the fishermen, the Pongueros down in Baja, and most fish tacos that you find in restaurants are beer batter. And I don't know about you, but those guys aren't going to waste a beer on making beer batter. Where are we at on the batch? I'm going to make an announcement. Hold on, what do we got?
We are still at 5.5 thousand. We're almost there. Almost there with the match.
Big. We're almost at the match. Keep it coming in. I get on, it stops. I knew it. So we're almost ready to go. We're going to throw another tortilla on there. Pretty simple, easy dish. Remember, you don't have to canned tuna. You can use canned chicken as well. It's in your pantry. Food is good. Good seafood's not cheap. Cheap seafood's not good. I'm looking around, seeing where I'm at. I think we're okay here, right? We're
Right?
okay?
Yeah, we're good. You have a favorite taco seasoning?
Taco seasoning.
Yeah. What do you
Oh, so Lowry's makes taco seasoning for the house. You want, get the big one like this. I love the stuff in stir fry and all kinds of other applications. This one, you can get at specialty produce as well. Yeah, Lowry's is good, but I like this one. And I like going down there and seeing everybody at specialty produce. So here we go. Then, I don't know if I can do this or not, but we're gonna have to build this taco for you. So I'm gonna take this. I'll come in.
I can come in. I can be your Vanna.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just gonna take the taco shell, tortilla, we're gonna lay it in there. Little spoon. You're like professionals.
We are professionals.
There.
So can you talk about your secret sauce?
So the white sauce, yes.
Yes.
The white sauce is really good. For those that have been around San Diego, you know that I do a big fundraiser called Day at the Docks, and don't go anywhere.
All right.
I do a big fundraiser called Day at the Docks in Point Loma. We've been doing our fish taco booth for years. All my buddies get together, and everybody asks about the white sauce, and I'm like, no, I can't tell you. So drum roll, you hear it in the background. For the very first time, we're going to give you the recipe one more time. Hold that. Okay?
Yeah.
So we take the green, purple cabbage with some carrots.
I'm ready.
You can take a bite of this for real?
Yep.
Ho, ho. You don't have to work tomorrow. Huh? Yeah. So the salsa, here we go. We're gonna put a little bit of salsa on there. Again, you don't have to do it with tuna. You can do it with shredded beef, chicken.
What about tofu?
She said, "What about tofu? What about it?" I don't know anything about tofu.
Vegetarian.
Oh,
No. All right.
no,
All
my
right.
what? Yeah, there is some good tofu. We have a tofu company here in San Diego. The white sauce, 50%. I know it doesn't add up, okay? 50% sour cream, 50% buttermilk ranch dressing, a little bit of water, throw it all in a blender, blend it. So a nice creamy, look at this. All right? Nice creamy there. And then, hold on, I got a spoon here. I'm gonna put cheese on it as well.
Awesome.
5,600.
Yeah,
You're at 5,600.
5,600.
Mhm.
Good thing I didn't go first.
Oh.
Okay. So let's see, here's what we got. I don't know. So that's our taco. You ready?
Oh yeah, let's do this. All right. I feel like you should go first.
I don't need my cooking.
Oh,
No,
come
I'm
on.
kidding. All right. All right, let's go.
Uh-huh. Cheers, Tommy.
Salute.
It's all about the white sauce. And Thank you, sir.
Got game.
Mhm.
Amazing.
So good.
Oh. So yeah, that's it. Super healthy, kind of cool, very good. So don't forget, if you have a family that is in need right now or throughout the year or next year or whenever, as long as Kitchens for Good is here, they're here for everybody. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, between 9 a.m. and 12, they are giving out the meals. It's a cool line. You just get in line and follow the line around. Hand it to you while supplies last. Collins and Coop, I'm reading off my cheat sheet here. Hold on, folks. 50% off purchase. If you donate, you'll get a discount code tomorrow. So that's kind of cool as well. 1,180 meals from here today alone. 1,180 meals. That's amazing what's going on down here. Check them out online. Come to the graduation. That's all. Just come. It's a free lunch. Come to the graduation, and I guarantee you that you will get involved one way or another with this organization that is here in the heart of San Diego. It's right off the 94. It's super cool. And these big companies that are doing their award dinners and the events that they have for whatever it is, come down here and see the facility that's going on down here and the full kitchen that they have that they can cater, not only here, but they can cater off-site as well. So take a good look at it, what's going on, come down, meet Aviva, meet the crew, meet some of the students. Bring some tissue, I'm telling you.
Thank you so much, Tommy.
Is that it? Are you cutting me off?
No, you can keep going. I'm not saying that everyone will keep watching, but
Did anybody even watch my segment, or did they drop like flies when I came?
that was amazing. I have finished my pasta dish. It's pretty delicious. So I want to thank Logan and Gary and Tommy for joining us. It is really the hospitality industry has been our biggest supporters in the last few years, and we really want to do our part to support them through our meals, and we just really appreciate you guys coming up to join us virtually for this dinner party.
Thank you.
I'm eating.
We just wanted to clarify really quick that it's 15% off, not 50, just in case. We could not afford 50%. I'm really sorry about that.
I wish we could do that.
50%.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for all of your support of Kitchens for Good, and they're really doing wonderful stuff. We did an event. How long ago was that?
Oh God, 8 months ago maybe?
8, 9 months
I've
ago.
done 2 events now with Kitchens for Good, and I loved every moment
Had
of
such
it.
a great time. Got to meet a lot of the people,
Students.
the students in the program, and just really wonderful people. You guys are doing an amazing job helping everybody out, and I love how you guys have pivoted to help provide food for the people that need it right now. And we know a lot of people in the service industry that are out of work right now, and can't wait to get back to it, but are struggling. And so if you can help support these guys, all the people that are out of work right now, please do, because the way that we're going to get through this is by the kindness and generosity of each other. So, be kind to each other, be good to each other. We'll make it through.
So, it's whenever I've called you guys and I always say, hey, do you guys want to do a dinner? You don't ask for who, for what day, nothing. It's always, yes, give me the date and we'll make it happen. And it's been that way forever. And Logan, happy birthday, right?
Yeah, my birthday's tomorrow.
Yes.
Birthday.
Thank you. For my birthday, you can donate to Kitchens for Good, and then take your discount code and spend some money at Collins and Coop, because that would help not only the community for getting food, and also for the community for getting cocktails. And both of those things are important. One more than the other, but gotta at least look out for myself before I can look out for everyone else. So I appreciate all your support, because making sure that our business is still running gives me the opportunities to help everybody else in this way, and not have to worry so much about where my next meal is coming from. So,
and also a shout out to all of the local vendors that we carry. We're trying to help support you guys. We want to put more orders in and get your products back on our shelves.
Yeah, we have a lot of local
and
small batch.
Keep selling that stuff. We've got a lot of beautiful products that are made here in San Diego,
and they're highlighted on our website. A purchase from us with one of those items in it helps that person.
Yeah, those are other small businesses
very much. Too, so thank you so much.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. One of my highlights has been flipping through and seeing a bunch of folks cooking in their kitchen, and texting me some pictures of what they're doing. And tonight, with everyone's support, we raised over $6,000. is really incredible and goes such a long way to support our hunger relief meal distribution and supporting our students and alumni who have been affected by this crisis. So I want to thank you all so much for attending. Follow Kitchens for Good on Facebook or Instagram for updates on our efforts. And if you know of anyone who's in need of support with food right now, please send them our way to our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday food distribution. Thank you all so much, and wishing you a lot of health, wellness, and strength as we get through these challenging times. Have a great night.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.